Welcome to Somerset Weekly Wrap-Up for the week of December 1st to December 7th. At the Water and Sewer Commission meeting on Wednesday, it was stated that the water treatment plant will be operated 24 hours a day starting on January 1st. Water and Sewer Commission Chair Steve Catarat said the around-the-clock operation should decrease the amount of discolored water in town, as he does not think sediments will come off the pipes because the water will be flowing more continually. There have been a lot of complaints about discolored water in town during this past year, although Water and Sewer Superintendent Paul Sylvia said on Wednesday that there have not been many complaints recently since the flushing was stopped for the season. Running the plant 24 hours a day will require 2 more operators to work the overnight shift. The Spinnaker Veterinary Clinic has donated some emergency equipment that will allow Somerset firefighters to use to treat and transport injured dogs to a hospital. Some of the equipment includes oxygen masks that can be used on dogs, muzzles, cones, and other appropriate equipment that could be used to help a dog in an emergency. The fire department is required to have some of the equipment under the new Nero's law. The bill allows a police dog, which is a dog owned by a police department or police agency of the Commonwealth or any political subdivision thereof that is used by the department or agency for official duties, injured in the line of duty, to be transported in an ambulance if there is not competing need for human transport. The Somerset Police Department has a comfort dog. Somerset Fire Department Captain William Roderick said canine dogs are also brought into town by the State Police and Bristol County Sheriff's Department. Last night we went to chat with Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District about what residents had for their vision of the Slades Ferry District in Somerset at the Somerset Public Library. Let's take you to that special report now.
We're here today with Philip Hu and Grant King from the Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, who are helping to create a vision for an area in Somerset. And tonight they're taking public input from people around town. Can you tell me about this project and what you're trying to accomplish here?
Sure. So we're really excited. Today is our kickoff open house. The area we're taking a look at is Slades Ferry Crossing, right off of Route 6. There's been a lot of planning, a lot of thought gone into what might have should go there, but not a lot has happened. So we're really excited this opportunity to ask folks in the community what they would like to see, what we can do, what investments and ideas could spur some change and create a wonderful, unique place for Somerset.
And so what is going to be the result? You're going to give recommendations to the town on what they could do down there?
Sure. So the town asked us to examine the existing zoning for the district. So that those are the laws that determine what can happen and to what extent and what it might look like in terms of the built environment. So we are looking at the zoning there, and we are probably going to be developing some design guidelines to accompany that zoning. Those are drawings and pictures to help future potential developers decide how their work might look, what it might look and feel like. We are also looking at improving access to the waterfront. That's one of the main themes we've heard tonight, is a desire to have access to the river, both for pedestrians, for the businesses, and for active uses along the river. And then the third thing is what types of public investments and programs and initiatives, whether it's sidewalks or better zoning or other incentives, might help achieve the town's goals of that active neighborhood in Slades Ferry.
So from talking to people tonight, what types of businesses do they want to see down there?
I actually haven't heard many specifics. I think the main focus has just been what could activate kind of the streets and the sidewalks. So there's a lot of excitement around outdoor dining or something like cafes and something that would bring people in. Lots of folks love Somme. It's the open air market. It draws so many people across the region, and it's just a point of pride for the community. And they want to see more businesses that really kind of reflect that local character.
Yeah, I've been to some of these things before, and people do always seem to bring out food and dining.
Yes.
But how much potential do you see for that area?
Gosh, I mean, the word potential can mean so many things. I certainly think there's a lot of potential for, like we said, a neighborhood, access to the water, increased activity. The residents to the west of the study area are very concerned about their neighborhood. They love it. They want to see things that complement it. So I think there's a lot of potential to meet those goals and the town's goals for more activity and a little bit more growth and economic development. So I think there's a ton of potential for the study area. What the nature of tonight is all about is to determine exactly what shape that takes and really hear from residents and business owners in Somerset about those details. So if you can, please visit the project webpage, which is www.serped.org/Slades Ferry, I believe. If not, you can find it by just searching Slades Ferry Neighborhood Plan, and there are many ways for you to provide your input and shape the project.
No, I mean, the traffic in that area decreased after the Brightman Street Bridge closed. Other than that, what other types of challenges do you see as far as developing that area goes?
I would defer to the planning board and the town to answer that question about anecdotally what has prevented the types of development outcomes, what they hear from the development community and residents themselves. I know reduced traffic is one for sure, but I would defer to the town to answer that question. Yeah.
Okay, so when do you think you'll have your recommendations?
Yes, so I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me, but our timeline, we kind of started off today just opening the question, opening the conversation in expected around February or so. We'll come back with a few more details and specifics and say, hey, what do you think of like this level of density or what these kinds of businesses, how do you think of like the zoning change would feel? And then I think around April or so, that's when we're going to present the final recommendations for review.
In advance of the town meeting, where the bylaw would come to a vote.
It'll be perfect timing. We're here with Julie Ramos Gagliardi, who's a member of the Somerset Berkeley Regional School Committee, who came to the open house. And Julie, what is your vision for the Slades Ferry District? What would you like to see in the area for our town?
Well, I'd like to see a very vibrant area that has mixed use, some places, different kinds of residential units, some businesses, places for people to gather, but really kind of draw people there because it has so much potential being so close to the water, I think.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, is they'd really like to capitalize on that waterfront there, and that's been talked about for a long time, I think. I mean, how do we capitalize on the waterfront? What do you think could be done there that would get people to go there and would help the town?
Well, I think it needs to be a combination. Like I would love to see maybe some open spaces that allow access to the water, maybe some waterfront dining, either a fishing pier or maybe a fishing pier and a potential walking path along there. And then I think further inland, but still accessible, you need the shops that will draw people. We see what happens with SOAM, right? People come from all over. So if we can capitalize on that opportunity and make it more year-round and more permanent, I think that would be great for the town.
We're here with Paul Cogley, the chairman of the Somerset Economic Development Committee. And the open house is almost over. You've had quite a few people come through here. What are they telling you as far as what they would like to see for development in the Slades Ferry area?
Well, thanks, George. Yes, and we did have a great turnout tonight. I'm really thrilled. A lot of people from the Slades Ferry area came through, and also from other parts of town. I think they're telling us a bunch of things. They're interested in the mixed-use development within the Slades Ferry area. They have a number of ideas, and they had opportunities tonight to interact, to put dots on concepts that they liked, to put up Post-it notes and talk about things that they might be concerned about. I think it went really well, and people would like to see Slades Ferry brought back to life and become a destination in the town of Somerset. And I think everything that we're trying to do is leading towards that. So I was really encouraged by what folks had to say tonight.
I mean it's been talked about for a long time. How do you make it happen?
Well, that's interesting, George, because you're right. There are studies. I've seen them. I have the old studies. I've wiped the dust off of the covers. I think the difference this time around is I'm going to say, number one, you have some folks in town, particularly with the Economic Development Committee, that are interested in seeing this happen because we do have concerns about adding to our tax rolls. And the other thing I think that's happening is with the development over in Fall River, the coming of the train to Fall River from Boston, you're going to see more development, more residential development there. People are going to be looking for things to do. Somerset is what we're trying to do will be able to provide a destination to folks so that they could come across the bridge, have dinner, perhaps attend a concert or something like that, attend a SOM event, and just enjoy themselves.
One thing we haven't touched on tonight as we've been interviewing people is how much impact do you think the commuter rail is going to have when it comes to Fall River on this particular area of Somerset?
Well, that's a really good question. I think there are a couple of ways. I mentioned the one that I just mentioned is we could have an impact of people that are moving to Fall River, the buildings that are being built over there, the mixed use rental units, et cetera. People might be looking for things to do in Somerset. The other thing, though, that I think from a Somerset perspective we have to be concerned about is whether or not Somerset will be considered an adjacent community to the term actually is MBTA adjacent community. That can have some ramifications for us because as a town, we would have to look at town-owned property and the minimum requirements that the state puts on the MBTA designated communities are zoning of 15 units per acre. Which is higher than what we have right now in Slades Ferry, which is only 8 units per acre. I think, honestly, that's probably too low. That's why we haven't seen any development take place in Slades Ferry. But nonetheless, we need to focus on that and be aware because we clearly can be impacted by what's going on with the train coming in. I think it's a good thing, but we clearly could be impacted by it.
Okay. All right. And this is going to be a process. We'll be hearing a lot more about it as it goes along, and hopefully it's going to lead to something for a town meeting next spring.
That's what we're hoping for. This is just one step in a long process, and we are hoping to be able to bring it to a town meeting in probably in April or May of next year. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, George.
Thank you.
Great seeing you.
The Holly Jolly Trolley will be traveling around Somerset on Sunday, December 10th. Carolers on the trolley will be making stops at 9 places around Somerset to sing holiday songs. The schedule includes the Council on Aging between noon and 12:30 p.m., Chase Street School between 12:30 p.m. and 1 p.m., North Elementary School between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m., the North Farm Estates Gazebo between 1:30 p.m. and 2 p.m., in front of Somerset Village Waterfront Park between 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m., the Council on Aging Center between 2:30 p.m. and 3 p.m., the Wilbur Apartments between 3 p.m. and 3:30 p.m., South Elementary School between 3:30 p.m. and 4 p.m., and then ending at the Town Office Building where there will be a tree lighting at 5 p.m. The program has been organized by the Somerset Recreation Department. On December 14th, musical groups at Somerset Berkeley Regional High School will be playing holiday music at their annual Vespers concert. Groups scheduled to perform include the Jazz Ensemble, Concert Band, Chamber Orchestra, and Concert Choir. The public is welcome to attend the concert. Admission will be free, but they will be collecting non-perishable food items to donate to a local food pantry. Dr. Susan Brailsford, principal of Somerset Berkeley Regional High School, is proud to announce the Raider Visionary of the Month recipients for November. The acronym Raider stands for Resilient, Academic, Independent, Digital Citizen, Empathetic, and Respectful. Those attributes are part of the high school's vision of the graduate. For November, student Hannah Carpenter was recognized for being resilient. Peyton Morosco was recognized for her academics. Ava Andrade and Eric Willett were recognized for their independence. Connor Simios and Ella Souza were recognized for their work as digital citizens. Alana Souza was recognized for being empathetic, and Lorelei Hawes was recognized for being respectful. SBRHS congratulates these visionaries of the month on their impressive display on what it means to be a Raider. Raider of the Month award recipients for November have been announced at Somerset Middle School. The students who received the awards included 6th graders Riley Rudenauer and Max Oliveira, 7th graders Jacob Jones and Jackson Sear, and 8th graders Sophia Zen and Olivia Harden. Raider stands for Resilient, Academic, Independent, Digital Citizen, Empathetic, and Respectful. It is the vision of the graduate at Somerset Berkeley Regional High School. In sports, 4 wrestlers from the Raiders Wrestling Club won championships at the Middletown Takedown Tournament at J.H. Gaudette Middle School in Middletown, Rhode Island on Sunday. They included Sian Donahue in the 45 to 50 pound weight class for wrestlers in the division for youths who are 8 years old and under, Taylor Brown in the 55 to 60 pound category for the 8U division, Colton Gates in the 55 to 60 pound category for youths who are 10 years old and under, and Dawson Pavo in the 140 to 150 pound division for youths who are 10 years old and under. The Raiders Wrestling Club practices at North Elementary School. Thank you for watching Somerset Weekly Wrap Up. Tune in next week for more news from around Somerset.